Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review of The Promised Neverland Episode 8. And to be honest with you, I'm still kind of processing everything that I just fucking. Everything. Like, I just finished the episode now, so honestly, I'm just kind of processing everything that just kind of happened, or at least what happened in the ending. Let's put it that way, because yeah, we pretty much find out that Norman is being shipped out. Is the first one that is the first one of the main cast that's being shipped out, and ooh boy, I that like God. Yeah, that's one of those things where you're like, God damn it, things cannot get any more freaking. Things could not get any more worse. Like this was one of those episodes where, or just when you think it couldn't get any worse, it ended up getting worse, and that ending was just the epitome of this episode in terms of shit hitting the fan and things getting just the absolute worst that they could. Um, and especially in Norman's case, for sure. Yeah. Uh, or I guess, or I guess for now anyway. I won't spoil what's going on. It's gonna happen from there, but yeah, like it's not looking right now. It's not looking good for Norman for sure. Um. Okay, so yeah. Aside from that craziness, let's backtrack a little. Okay, so we find out that the letter is actually the letter that we see Isabella give to Sister Crone is actually a notice that Sister Crone has become a mother, and what makes and a mother that's being shipped out to Plant 4, I believe is what they said. And what makes this scene so brilliant outside of just being a ploy in order to kill Crone is that it not only hinders the kids' chances of escaping like any more than what that reveal of Norman being shipped out does, but 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 let's just say let's just say, for argument's sake, that Crone managed to survive and was transferred safely to Plant 4 as a mother. By what this does is that by Isabella basically giving Crone what she's wanted, she essentially stripped away any reason and purpose for her to be allied with for Crone to be allied with the kids to begin with, and from there, all she would have to have is her desire to kill Isabella, which is something the latter would easily manipulate and control in order to serve her, and turn her against the kids once more, which again. But again, that's pretty much all pretty much under the hypothetical that pretty much Crone even survived in order to become a mother, but pretty much because she's dead, the kids have been permanently were stripped of that asset in order to escape, and and Norman being shipped out, with Norman being shipped out, they're pretty much going to lose another important asset. Like Norman is basically a key asset to pretty much to their escape. He's the brains of the operation. So, or he and I guess Ray, but definitely more Norman. He's the one who's got all the plans. So because of that, yeah, the kids keep losing vital pieces left and right, and and in the case, although in the case of Crone, ev- although in the case of Crone, um, I in the case of going back to Crone and giving her dues, however, I do want to be fair to Clone. I do want to be fair to Crone because it is clear that she did manage to form at least some kind of connection with the kids. Otherwise, it would have been. Otherwise, I don't think she would have even left that final gift or clue to the kids. But yeah, so yeah, so yeah, with Crone, it's like with Crone and Norman, it's like the kids already lost pretty much two key assets, are gonna lose two key, lost one asset, and they're gonna lose another one. Like gonna lose another one. So yeah, this just proves you don't fuck with basically is with pretty much is is Isabella. You just don't. Okay, that's just the one thing you don't do. Now, with this episode, we basically get Crone's backstory, and on a visual level, I like the approach that pretty much Cloverworks took when that Cloverworks took in terms of bringing it to the screen and animated, and how we learned just how the whole process of and how we learned the whole process of becoming a sister or a mother in this whole world because well like as we see with this backstory like it's basically got everything it's basically got it's got a training facility, it's got a research facility, it's got like it's everything in order to modify and in order to in a way like modify and enhance like the sisters and the mother's abilities. So in that sense, it shared like I'm gonna take a cue from the MCU with this one, with this whole setup with with the mother sister training facility. It shares a lot of similarities to basically to the super soldier program that basically Hydra had in Captain America the Winter Soldier, uh, and so yeah in that sense it was a very good backstory. However, with this backstory, there is one key issue that needs to be addressed, and it's and after having watched Yonko Productions, pretty much his recent video on the Promised Neverland anime, I can safely say that this problem is still one major flaw with it, and yes, the major flaw I'm talking about is the inner monologue that was being cut out from it. Um, which okay, so and the reason as to why this is a problem is because as uh, you see with the approach that Cloverworks has taken, um, you see with the I think so I guess now is kind of a good time in order to get my general thoughts as on to where I stand in terms of the anime in terms of the anime uh, in terms of the anime pretty much basically cutting out a lot of this inner monologue that we're not seeing and what my general thoughts on it are. I guess where I am with it is that I think what I think of this approach that Cloverworks has taken, and to be honest, I'm a little more open than from Gianco was, which is that like pretty much the main thing I support with the inner monologues being cut is that it allows for a lot of great visual storytelling with just the expressions and actions of the characters, and I'd say a good pretty much I'd say a good around pretty much 70 or 75% of the time, a lot of the inner monologue being cut out and just letting the expressions and the actions of the characters per, per, being left alone to tell the story. For majority of that time, it still works. Like I said, around 70 or 75% of the time, it works. And our minds can easily pretty much fill in the blanks of what everyone is thinking about at the time. With that being said, having said that, if I'm being honest, that last 25-30% is still a bit of a major issue, though, where not having the inner monologues could pretty much just as easily confuse the viewer, and in a way, I feel that Sister Crone's backstory, pretty much not having any, pretty much near any of the inner monologue, is one such time where it might confuse people a bit. I don't know if it will, but yeah, that's kind of the case I'm making for it right now. I mean, I'm thankful enough that at the very least that the anime managed to keep pretty much kept pretty much Crone's pretty much final thoughts and words to the kids in, but yeah, there was pretty much some key information that I think that definitely that the pretty much needed a lot of the inner monologue in there, unfortunately. Um, so, and one major thing about the episode is the confrontation between Isabella and Ray, where we learn that the latter was essentially fired as Isabella's spy, which, yeah, that was one of those moments where every moment from her locking Ray in the room right up until she confronted Norman Ray, I could do nothing but be amazed at how quickly and effortlessly that Isabella managed to gain the upper hand. I mean, we pretty much knew from the very beginning that she had the upper hand, but just seeing it all play out kind of reminded me just how unnerving a lot of this earlier material was. Just in the fact that there were many times where I thought reading this that shit, as long as Isabella's around, this pretty much seems hopeless. But it really comes down to comes down to the wire in a lot of ways with this, um, especially and especially how down especially how downright chilling the whole scene of Isabella and one thing that was especially downright chilling in this episode was the whole scene of Isabella, who basically, when she confronted Norman and Ray, Emma and Norman, sorry, Emma and Norman, she basically broke her facade and basically showed her true colors to them. And what makes that scene particularly frightening, honestly, is not so much the fact that she threw all the bullshit aside and let her true self come forth, but it's how much I was really kind of sympathizing with Isabella when she did break character, because the weird thing about what everything that Isabella was saying in this episode is that, for as fucked up as the whole situation with Gracefield being a human form is, you can still get the feeling that there is a genuine love that Chipmunch has for all of the kids. Again, despite how royally fucked up this whole situation is, or at least you can get small, or very least you can. But at the same time, I do understand that there is definitely that kind of fucked up factor, especially when she breaks Emma's leg, because it was at that point where it started getting creepy again. But even then, you can still sympathize with her a little bit, because you can definitely see that her obsession of keeping the kids safe, at least until they ship out, is kind of born from basically some kind of overprotectiveness or just obsession of basically knowing of that yeah, that's something that if they go out there, they're basically gonna die almost. So yeah, it gives us a hint of how probably terrifying that things outside of Gracefield are. And again, in a weird way, pretty much being shipped out to be food is the way she talks about it. It almost seems like a mercy, almost. Which, after what from where I am with the manga, it's kind of the truth, if I'm being honest. But yeah, and yeah, we pretty much get to the lead. We get to meet the lady who's codenamed Grandma in this episode, which, yeah, looking back on this, makes me realize how much more about her and what exactly her connection to the... Well, looking back on this makes me realize how much more I want to learn about her and what exactly her connection to the demons, or hell, even for that matter, what kind of connection she has to Isabella is, in order to have such unwavering faith in her. Because with Grandma's introduction, it definitely got heavily reinforced along with everything else in this episode, that since the beginning, that there is something special about Isabella for sure. Like, Isabella definitely seems to have a lot more clout than any of the like, I know we haven't gotten introduced to a whole lot of other, like, sisters or mothers or whatnot, but Isabella definitely seems to have a lot of clout with these people, with these, like, demons and people, at least compared to possibly other people as well. So yeah, but at the same time, unfortunately, any mystery that's surrounding Grandma and Isabella, it probably won't be touched on, because we haven't. Because I'll just say straight up, we haven't seen or heard anything about Isabella in the later parts of the manga after they escape. So yeah, that's one of those things that might end up remaining a mystery. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Crunchyroll. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.